Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we're doing a shaky cam interior review. This time we are in a 2015 Toyota Avalon. This is a Toyota's, I guess, top tier car. It's the big sedan, the biggest one they make. So let's just run through it really quick. You might remember last year we did the Avalon Hybrid, so you'll notice a lot of similarities here. Doors and mirrors, so windows, mirrors, doors, all that. You'll see this package has the seat memory settings. And then down here you have the trunk, traction control, blind spot management, etc., etc. Down here is the foot brake. So that's set right now because I'm parked on an incline. Alright, quickly with the steering wheel, you'll see these are the controls that run that stuff up there. And then you have volume and your modes and whatnot, back key. Fairly easy to use. There isn't a whole ton of information up there, but there's a fair amount, probably about as much as most people would want. These systems, I've noticed, they tend to be really fun for the first little while, and then you know, after a few days in the car, you really don't ever look at it again. And then over here, your telematics and whatnot, and cruise controls down here. So this has paddle shifting. This is the V6. I don't know why it has paddle shifting. I used it one time and it really wasn't that neat. It shifts all right on its own. It does a pretty good job by itself. It doesn't really need my input. But it's there in case you want it. Leather wrap steering, of course. This is the Sport model. That's where this comes from. So this is the Grand Touring Sport. Here is the windshield washers, wipers, etc., and lighting and signals. And then looking at the instrument cluster, it's going to be a little bit difficult because the way the bevels, the way these bezels work, they kind of, from this close of an angle, they look like they're shielding too much, but we'll get through it. All right, over here. Here's your RPM gauge, and then engine heat right there. When I was shifting with the paddles, I was hitting about a little over 6,000 and then hitting the next gear, trying to get some performance out of the car. And it's a pretty good goer. It feels really good for, you know, it's just a V6 sedan. It's not really a sports sedan or anything like that. It does pretty well for that, though. I was impressed. It can do freeway merges at over 80 miles an hour if you want, so it's capable. It's got some oomph going on under the hood. Over here is your speedometer, of course, and fuel gauge, and your trip down there. You can see I've put about 179.5 miles on this car. That's about all I'm going to do this week. They're coming for it this morning. I had this right here because I was trying the, I was doing some 0 to 60s yesterday, and I just did, I did a set of 5, and then took the 3 best and averaged them, and they, you know, like I said, it's not a sports sedan, but it will get up and go, so it's not a, you know, it's not a bad car. Over here, so you have your vents and, of course, your hazards over there. This is keyless start. This is Toyota's, the latest iteration of Entune here, or Entune, E-N-T-U-N-E. About the same as last year, not a whole lot of changes. It's pretty easy to use once you get used to it, but it does have a bit of a learning curve. Once you get past that, it's pretty easy to use. The good news is there are plenty of regular old school buttons and knobs, so you can get around some of that learning curve by just not learning it. I tend to use this to tune and this to do the volume more than I do the steering wheel and more than I do the touch screen. And setting up my phone to hook up with the car was pretty easy. Didn't take a whole lot of work. So other than that, I don't know how deep you're going to dive into this. You know, it's going to matter. I guess it's going to depend on who you are. Personally, I think Toyota's system is good. I don't think it's great. I think there are a lot of systems that are better, but there are plenty that are also worse. So, you know, like I said, you just have to learn it. So down here you have climate controls, and thankfully you can do everything right here. You don't need to use that. Um, that's a good thing because a lot of companies are starting to move towards putting everything up there and having hardly any control down here, and that's highly annoying when all you want is to say turn it off or hit just the vent or something, and you have to page through menus to do it. This has the optional charging. Here's your plugs and stuff, and then you can get a wireless charge thing for your phone that goes right there, and then there's a little hole right here, so you can set your phone up here so it's closer to you and easy to read, and have the wire come up to be charging. Or you can, if you have like an iPod or something, you can leave it in here all the time. And all right, so moving along really quick, here's the shifter. Pretty, nothing really special. I've been using this more than the paddles for freeway off ramps, that sort of thing, to slow down. Works pretty well. I like it. I'm used to doing that. This is this feels really good, by the way, because it's a nice kind of a soft but not soft plastic. It's hard to explain, but feels really good in your hand. Bun warmers here, and driving modes. Honestly, I saw very little difference. Sport mode does give you a little bit more boost at the lower end for hitting some speed. Enough that if you're going to run your stopwatch and do some timing, I guess it's a good thing. Other than that, sport's not really that I don't know, special, I guess. Normal mode is nice. I pretty much had it in eco mode all the time. Because you don't really need all the power of the V6 most of the time you're driving. And eco mode seemed to boost my fuel economy just a little bit. I've been doing pretty good in this car. That 179.5 miles I've driven hasn't even used half a tank, so that's pretty good for the car. Here's your drink holders. If you are a 7-Eleven big gulp drinker, you're gonna not like these because they are not big enough to hold it. But they're decent size, and then you always have this thing, huge, nice big cavernous thing. This tray comes out, of course. Whoops! Oh, there you go. See, it came out. Nice there, and then the leather treatment they did inside here is nice. You'll see the leather seating and stuff. It looks really good. And the floor mats that come with the Touring Sport Edition are pretty cool. And what I really like though is this blue. It's probably not coming through in the camera very well, but this detail here is just. It's a really nice, cool blue color, and it kind of offsets the dark leather and the dark hard plastic here, and then it's accented by the chrome, and just they did a good job on the interior. It's not it's not as upscale as a luxury car, but it is a good looking interior, and it's Toyota's new interior where they've sucked it up and kind of cleaned things up a little, so you'll see the different tones, how they come together, the stitching up there to match the blue on there, and they just did a really good job on detail for the interior here. This also has a sunroof, a few other things. The back seat's a very good sized, nice big back seat. You're looking right there at the ski pass through, so you can just open that for the skis instead of folding one of the seats down. Just all around, this is a good car. There's no reason to complain about this car at all. I've very much enjoyed it. It's like I said, it's the 2015 Toyota Avalon. It's a good vehicle. It's Toyota's largest car. So there you go. For AaronOnAutos.com, this has been Aaron. We'll talk to you again soon.